Are you intrigued by history and science that have contested explanations? Ever thought, I'm definitely smarter than my friends, but not as smart as the experts? Then join Craig and Dave as they explore the mysteries of who the why the and how the will they actually find the answers? Probably not, but they'll have a good time trying. Welcome to Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece. We're fired up. This week we got some.
It's our first fan episode.
Yeah, actually a second one.
He didn't count.
He doesn't count.
That didn't count.
Yep.
Our first real fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Fan mail.
Yeah.
So thank you, Corey, for bringing us this episode's topic, which is what?
The Antikythera mechanism.
Right. Before we get into it, though, we do have to give a little shout out to our sponsor.
We do have a sponsor. Yep.
So Dubby Energy Drinks.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a sponsor.
Love it.
Yeah. Now, W Energy Drink. It's a powdered energy drink. They got tons of different flavors, and there's no sugar,
Yeah, it's
no
not jammed
additives.
with
It's
with chemicals, none of that stuff.
Yeah, so you're not gonna get that crash and that crappy feeling after. It's just there's caffeine in it. You know what I mean? But that's what gives you the energy.
Right, that's why I drink coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I used to drink coffee.
Exactly.
Now I'm all hopped up on the energy drinks.
The dubby.
Yeah, I'm on the dubby. I love it.
All on the dubby.
Baby, you want coffee? I want some dubby. Yep.
But yeah, you can use our promo code. It's right here at the bottom of the screen. Sci-Piece for 10% off on their website. They got some great stuff. A lot of good flavors. Check them out.
Yeah,
it's
a lot
awesome.
of options. Yeah. Use the promo code though.
Yeah, you have
helps
to use
you, helps us.
Yeah, helps you, helps us, and helps them.
Yeah,
you know?
we all win.
We all win.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Thanks, Dubby.
Yeah.
All right, now we did that.
Yeah, we did.
So thanks to our one of our fans. So Corey, thank you for the suggestion this week.
Yep.
He emailed us and said he'd love to hear our thoughts on the Antikythera mechanism.
Yes.
I believe our last episode I said Antikythera devise.
Yeah, it's
because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Antikythera mechanism.
Yeah, I'm the dumb one on this show.
Yeah.
It's all right. We all know.
Yeah. But it was, found in 1901?
1901, off the coast of Greece.
Yep, sponge divers.
Yeah.
For you guys, just no scuba tanks or nothing.
It's like,
just
and they're going for a minute and a half.
Yeah, longer sometimes.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy. But yeah, they would.
They come up all like tanned and stuff, like looking beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they come out of the water like shh.
Right. They just come up like, I found history.
I found history. Yeah, sorry, I found more history.
No, they're Greeks. They invented history.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they found it was a shipwreck.
It was part of a shipwreck. Yep.
Yeah, and they pulled this clump, just like a clump
There's like
of metal.
80 something pieces of it.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it just looked like rocks because it'd been down there for
corroded and stuff. Yeah,
but they were like little flecks of gold.
Yeah,
or bronze is what it turned out to be.
Yeah, and it's just a series of multiple interlocking gears.
Yeah,
that rotated and there was like a hand on it, almost like a clock.
Yeah.
And at first, that's what they thought it was. They thought it was like a clock.
Some kind of clock.
And
I guess it kind of is.
It is, yeah.
On a bigger scale.
On a bigger scale,
what's crazy is not the fact that it was gears or on a shipwreck, because there's been clocks and devices like that on shipwrecks found from the 1400s throughout.
Yeah.
This one was 1,500 years older than that.
1,500. 1,000 years later, they made a clock tower with big giant gears, and everybody was like,
Right.
"That's incredible."
Yeah.
And these guys were like, 1 o'clock.
I got one of those on my luxury ship.
Yeah, exactly. Like 1 o'clock, 1:05. Who cares? I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be an eclipse next week.
Yeah.
At
At 106.
1:06. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's dated back to, most agree about, between the 1st and 2nd century BC.
BC. Yeah.
That's before the Jewish guy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's crazy. So yeah. So I mean,
And it was clear, like the piece, the visible piece, there was a big gear right visible in the front.
right visible in the front.
There's no mistaking what it was.
No, exactly.
And when it was dated to being that old, and it's a 2,000-year-old analog computer,
Yeah.
is what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, exactly. And they figured it out. The fact that you've figured, like, that guy was like, okay, because it could track the movements of the planets
Yep.
and celestial objects, and could predict eclipses.
Yeah.
Which, didn't predict them. It just, it did.
It
but
did. It knew-
but
yeah.
it was like, okay, there's going to be an eclipse
On this
here
date.
on this date. And that,
And it was about the size of like a clock you'd keep on a desk or above a fireplace or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's just amazing to me that
The technology we can use now to see all the gears, how they interlocked. Jesus.
You're not building one.
See myself up. No, I can't even describe one. Idiot. Josh Gates is never calling us now.
No, that's it.
But no, we can. The technology we can use now, it's so non-invasive, and we can see all the different elements like through and through, and know how it worked.
Yeah,
And it was accurate. They can even now. That's why we say 1st or 2nd century BC. Go back to basically the original calibration date of this machine,
yeah,
which is wild. So not by itself, it's a 2,000-year-old analog computer that knows the celestial movements.
yeah,
That's not the only part that fascinates me. What fascinates me is it was built with such precision that they had been doing that for a long time before.
yeah.
That's where my brain goes. Like, wow, it's a 2,000-year-old this. Yeah, but
That was the first one.
that was such common knowledge.
Yeah.
That they were able to build like a paper holder,
Yeah.
like a paperweight that tracked the stars.
Yeah,
Because they knew it.
They knew it. That's what I mean. Like they didn't. That wasn't the only one. It wasn't the first one that some sponge diver found. It's like the only one that ever existed.
Right, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't found another one.
No.
But because other ones were probably melted down because someone
They were made of
grabbed
bronze.
it. Yeah, somebody grabbed it. And was like, this stupid thing.
Yeah.
Melt it down. Make a spoon.
Yeah.
I need some new silverware.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I just find it amazing that someone sat there and said, if I had this gear, and this gear at these sizes, and do this and do that, and I can line it up with this,
Yeah.
blows my mind. Blows my mind.
And it's that combined with that underlying knowledge and understanding of how everything works.
Yeah.
Looking up at the stars and someone that can take that knowledge and say, I want to be able to know when all these things are happening. I'm going to build this way. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I actually kind of wish Corey was here to explain it because he's way smarter
Yeah,
than we
he
are.
is. Yeah, exactly.
Way smarter than we are. But to have that knowledge thousands of years ago and the ability and ingenuity to make it.
Yeah.
And they made, I guarantee, this isn't the only one.
No, exactly.
There were plenty before it. There were probably plenty after it.
And that goes to show, like, they were predicting, especially like, so you look like in that area at the time, they were predicting these eclipses. They knew what they were.
Yeah.
They weren't like the gods are angry.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna kill a virgin quick.
I told you not to eat those grapes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We have to make more offerings.
Yeah, put those olives away.
That wasn't. They knew what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why when you go back and you think like, oh, I mean, granted, Then I don't know what the hell happened. And then we're like, oh, somebody said something. That person's a witch. Burn him at a stake. That's just a few hundred years ago.
I it was last week in some places.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I know what happened, but that's a whole separate series of episodes we can do.
Yeah.
my rage against religion.
Yep.
But no, like they knew what it was.
Yep.
They understood that stuff, and they wanted to know when the next one was going to happen. That part fascinates me also. Why were they tracking this stuff?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Like if they knew what these things were, like what is the ultimate point or reason for them to track this stuff for anybody? Like,
yeah.
why?
But I guess maybe I guess to find patterns and things, because they do. It's weird. Everything kind of does have like an algorithm.
Of course it does.
So in a sense, like maybe they could be like when we've had better crops
That would
during
make
this
sense.
time.
Yeah.
So we know we got to plant a little earlier when these are this place. We're
Yeah.
gonna do that when this in this place.
Or we don't want to be sailing at this time because the seas get crazy because of the gravitational pull. They probably didn't. I don't want to say they didn't know that. They probably did.
They probably did.
I guarantee they understood the tides, like
Yeah.
the water coming and going, and like the moon coming and going at the same. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guarantee they'd figure that stuff out.
But it's crazy when you have like a pattern like that. You don't realize it. I remember. So this is how stupid this was. One of the stores that I worked for, my real job, right?
Yeah.
They used to keep track of every day how many customers came in, right?
Makes
Just
sense.
a normal thing.
Yeah.
The crazy thing was, the following year, it was pretty similar, and
Really?
so it was the year after that.
Really?
Yeah, and it's crazy. It was like, it's insane. It's almost like we live in a simulation. No, but it was nuts. I was like, because one of the guys, he's like, you got to check this out. He's like, look at this, and it was just like, it lined up. It was nuts. It was like this day was busier, than the other days, and it was the same thing that year. The numbers weren't exact,
But you
they
could
were
see-
similar enough that you could graph like a thing.
Yeah.
You could make a thing like these days are going to be busier than this day during this time of year and stuff. So, I mean, they were doing that stuff back then. Of
course they were.
You look at a Farmer's Almanac. That's what a Farmer's Almanac is.
Right. When are we gonna have the best crops?
Yeah.
Yeah. When do we plant? When do we do? Yeah.
And these guys were just doing it at a level, freaking almost 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. Probably because
know?
they had mastered it by the time they were making this machine
Yeah, that's what I mean.
at that small level. Like some guy was like, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Go to the astronomy store and get it. Yeah.
Go to the astronomy store and get it. Yeah. But it's true. Like they were doing these things. You had people like, you had these Greek scientists, that's all they did was learn.
Yep.
Their society was set up like that in a sense too. You had your people that were farmers, you had your people that did this, you had your intellectuals and your philosophers. They were guys, go get a philosophy degree right now and tell me about your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to think about making money.
Stuff.
Just because it's not like, unless you're a professor of philosophy, you know what I
Right.
mean? But
Then you're teaching other people to think about their job.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's no that's what they did.
Yeah.
They just sat in a room. They learned. They read.
And they
books,
wanted to
wrote
understand the
books.
world around them.
Yes, exactly.
Probably for that for a lot of practical reasons that we just
practical-
don't understand.
Yeah.
Or we just lost sight of because we don't need to anymore.
We don't need to anymore because you can just walk down the street and get food.
Right. Right.
For
Right.
now.
Well, we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one's driving now. We can't afford gas.
Exactly. But I mean, so they were doing it with, like you said, there were practical reasons for them to look at. You look up, like we said, there wasn't much to do at night.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I take the dog out at night before I go to bed. And while I'm waiting for him to do his thing in the backyard, I stand in the backyard and I look up. I
Yeah.
can't see a lot because of the light pollution. But I look up and I'm like, wow, that's cool. So I can only imagine back then when
Yeah.
there was no light pollution, there was nothing else. We've been to Maine where there was none of that.
Yeah.
And we look up at the sky and I'm like, oh, I could do this all night.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. I get it. But then if you find there's practical reasons to understand that stuff that affects your daily life, like, hey, we're going to have more food this year because of this.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, if I had something to tell me when that's going to happen again, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you can plan better. Like, I won't kill so many slaves next spring.
The thing that blows my mind too about that is you talk about, so you're looking at a constellation. And they're like, okay, that's Leo.
Yeah.
It's a lion, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to the other side of the world and they're like, they'll call it something else, but it's a lion. And you're like, well, it's just dots, man. You know, like, how did you come up with the same, you know what I mean?
With the
Pretty
same
much
thing?
the same thing.
That's weird. Yeah.
You know, like, that's a lot of things. We talk about that. Building, like structures being built on one
same
side of
way.
the planet, and on the other side of the planet, civilization is sprouting up at the same exact time on the other side of the planet, and they're actually like building something very similar.
Yeah. Same
It
basic
doesn't work
idea.
like that.
That's, yeah.
You know, it's just weird. But I mean, that's why
It's not like McDonald's and Burger King. Like, they weren't next door to each other.
Yeah, exactly. But when they were looking at constellations, because you look, and especially, I mean, we know they traded ideas, especially like with Asia. So you had China and Japan that were doing a lot of astronomy too, and there was cross connect there. There was people traveling,
course there were.
ideas, trading,
And that was going on long before it was documented too.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
exactly. So you did have those similarities with that. But then when you go to the other side of the planet, and whether it's called something, it might be called something different, but it's the same constellation they're looking at.
Right. Which is, yeah.
It blows my mind, and I get it that you'll look at, and throughout the night you watch them move and disappear, and then
Right.
they
And
come back.
they
next
tend to be
night
like the
and move.
brightest stars. And it's
Yeah.
like if you just tunnel vision a certain, like if you cordoned off the sky,
Yeah.
put it in a grid, like all these bright stars in the same couple grids, like, oh, they're always together.
Yeah,
All right. What does that look like?
yeah,
But they all pick the same.
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just weird.
It's crazy to me, but they had all of these similar things.
Yeah.
But they're looking at constellations. They're looking and they're like, hey, why does that one star look like it's going backwards again?
Right.
Like it was going that way. Now it looks
Now
like
it's going the other way.
Now it's going the other way. And they're like, that's not a star. That's a planet.
Yeah. It's
You know,
moving.
It's in, that's what they say, in retrograde. That's just because the position of the Earth rotating around the sun. 1 minute it looks like it's going one way, and then it looks like it's going
Yeah.
backwards again because it's
Yep.
moving slower than us. In
Yeah.
our rotation. You
And
know?
then some stars twinkle kind of bluish and some twinkle red. That's because
Yeah.
some are moving away from us and some are
some
moving
of
towards us.
yeah, exactly. Redshift.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yep.
Red shift.
But
Move on. Move on.
but I mean, but for someone to
I can't do it. I can't move on. No, go ahead.
But to create that mechanism, that machine
With such precision.
with such precision blows my mind.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, it's math, and math is universal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to get it
Trust
down
me, you can't fake math.
You can't fake math, and
It's been beating me for 47
Yeah,
years.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time giving someone change.
Yeah.
And this guy's
Because they don't understand what change is now.
Yeah. But this guy's like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Like I could tell you how far away it is.
I'm gonna hand carve all these bronze gears and fit them together and make this tell you what the stars are gonna do.
Exactly.
That is wild.
It's mind-boggling.
Wild.
It's mind-boggling.
But
But
yeah, to me, the story about this device is we're seeing a device when it had been perfected,
yes. Yeah, that's what I mean.
which means there are hundreds, if not thousands, of years of getting to that point,
Getting to
of
that point.
learning and understanding, and like they're like peak performance.
Yeah.
You know, like if you think of an athlete at the top of their game, like pick a sport, doesn't matter. Like
Yep.
they've been playing that game for decades.
Yeah.
Get there. So like
exactly.
And when you think about society, like if you can build a mechanism like this with that kind of precision to predict things accurately, how long have you been doing it before that? Not
Yeah.
just as this one civilization, but around the globe, like you said.
Yeah.
It was happening.
Exactly.
That is way more fascinating to me, is like the history that led up to that point.
that
Yeah.
particular device that was found that works perfectly. All the other ones that were like, okay, it's off.
Yeah.
Take it down. We're gonna change this gear size.
Yes. And
Gonna
kill that
change
guy that made
kill
it.
that guy that made it. Yeah.
He's a witch.
Yeah, he's a witch. Yeah, exactly.
He tried to speed up the moon.
Yeah. But and I find it amazing that there were people back then doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And then we went into a time where things like that slowed down.
It's
and came
literally
back-
the Dark Ages.
Literally the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Then we came back, and if you were like, "Hey, I got this machine that shows that we go around the sun,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "What? Kill him,
Drown him.
him."
Yeah.
Blasphemy. We're the center of the universe.
God goes around no one.
God, yeah, exactly. So it's just it blows my mind
Yeah.
that they were doing that stuff
But
back
that-
then and how far back it actually would
Yeah.
have went.
And I think that further supports what you and I talk about all the time is that civilization has gone back and forth a bunch over hundreds of thousands of years.
Hundreds of thousands.
Like, how many times? I was thinking about this. And do you remember Jerry Seinfeld talking about relationships breaking up is like tipping over a vending machine? You got to rock it back and forth.
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
times.
yeah.
But I think civilization's been like that. To get forward, things go back and forth, and you can see it from the Greeks, Romans, and at the same time Egyptians, all those societies.
Yeah.
And then they all collapsed around the same time, and the whole world went backwards hundreds of years,
Yeah.
and then came back forward. So at some point, we're probably going to go backwards in time, not that far back, but I think that a lot of that has happened.
Yeah.
But at this, again, I don't want to belabor the point, but this device is, I think it's proof of the advancement in technology, know-how, and understanding of civilization well beyond what we can fathom right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like they say that, human race has been around from what we know, from what we found 300,000 years. We know it's old. They've had some ideas that it's older, but they know for a fact 300,000 years.
Yeah.
Right. So you're telling me for 295,000 years, we're just drooling on our shoes?
Feet.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody's just walking around fire, good.
And then one day, let's stand up all these stones, make society plant crops, and just not kill people.
It's just it doesn't work like that.
No, and we'll get into other stuff. Along those lines because we had a few things come up. But do you have any other thoughts on the Antikythera mechanism?
Other than I think it's amazing.
I think one, the fact that they made it and it worked, it was so intricate. Two, that they could take the understanding and that however many years before that to understand what they wanted to make it happen. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Again, further support that we've been around, I think, way longer than
I agree.
What most modern archaeology and science supports.
There is findings that could possibly be older, but not only that, we're starting to find out that even Neanderthal and other species of us were smarter than we thought. Than we give them credit.
Of course they were.
So
they figured out how to survive.
Yeah, we did an episode on the column bow structure.
Yeah,
that's 1 million years old.
It's 1 million years old.
They were notching wood and building a structure.
Right.
So,
for whatever it doesn't matter why they were doing it. They were doing it. They understood this would hold it together.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
wild. Yeah. Go back 2 episodes, 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's a few.
A few. Go back.
Go back. Check it out.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Take us out of here.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
And we'll see you for the next one. Oh, actually, we got to draw we have
to draw another topic.
Another topic out of the grail.
Go ahead, pull one.
Okay. Let's see what we got for the next episode. I'm not going to pronounce that. No, the Yanaguni Monument.
Oh, we're going to Japan.
We're going to Japan.
Nice.
I love that stuff.
Underwater. Cut that out.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
All right. Check out that next episode. We're going to talk about the Yanaguni Monument.